Hello and welcome to GWiz. This is a review of the January units, and we hope that you find this helpful as you plan ahead for next month. I am logged in, and if you are a customer of GWiz, you will log in and you will see this green button that says Sign Out. That will assure that you are logged in. Once logged in, you will see this tab, GWE Customers. This is where you're going to find the actual curriculum units under this month's units. So you click here. And our two units for January are Awesome Opposites and then Up in the Sky. But we're going to look at Awesome Opposites first. So I'm going to go into the English files, and I'll explain the Spanish files in just a second. So this unit is all about opposites. We're going to cover just a few of the opposites that are obviously out there, but please feel free and do incorporate other opposites as you're working with the children throughout the day. This is very meaningful if you're doing this. So like when you put their coats on, you can talk about putting coats on or shoes on, and when you take them off, talk about taking them off. So please incorporate additional opposites as you do this unit with the children. We couldn't possibly cover them all. I'm going to just briefly go into the teaching guide. It should open like this. It's a PDF file. You have the option up here to print if you would like to print it. If you want to save ink, you can print in black and white. Just choose grayscale or black and white. You can also print two-sided if your printer will do that. Or of course, you can print in color. But you don't have to print it at all. You can save it to your computer. And regardless of whether you print or save, you should, or view it on the computer, you should definitely save it to your computer and also back it up. And that's where you would do that, is right here. You'll download it and you can save it to any folder. I usually set up folders, but with the name of each unit, and put all the files for that unit in that folder, but you can do it whatever way works for you. So the unit always starts out with, for you, those of you who are new, an introduction. There's a table of contents. And then these picture symbols I just want to touch on briefly because they are super important. As you remember, if you've attended any of our trainings, we use picture symbols to connect to the developmental areas. And it's very important that you understand and know when you look at the lesson plans, for instance, what's this number 1 means, or what the little hand means, or what this get moving means. So if you've forgotten, or just as a refresher, please look over this. It's always on the same page, and that will help when you're doing the activities with the children to make sure that you know which developmental areas you are covering. The units all start with an overview, this little chart, which a lot of our providers will print out and display on the wall for parents to kind of let them know what's planned for each day. Notice we don't have dates. If you would like to write a date above each one of those when you print it out, you certainly could. And then our school age experiences are down at the bottom. Each daily lesson plan, which I'm not going to spend a lot of time going through these, but I just want to highlight for those of you who may be new, has a cumulative list of developmental areas that are covered for the day. So if you do all the experiences GWiz has planned for the day, you will cover all these developmental areas. We have a health and safety tip every day, a teaching tip every day, a transition idea every day. In this box are ways you can model language. These are words we want you to use in conversations with children today. And then we have on this page our exploring together, which is like our circle time, but it's not circle time as in you're talking and the children are all just listening. It's very active and you're all engaged doing things. So this would be your exploring together, and these would be open-ended questions to ask as you're doing the exploring together with the children. Over here, we also have on the second page for this day, our small group experiences. Some of these will require you to be involved, but a lot of them are going to be where you set up the environment and then the children take it in any direction they would like. You will also note that some of these have levels, and these are developmental levels. So when you read through the experience, think about each child in your group and where they are developmentally and which option would be best for them. You might actually find that neither option is exactly right and you need to adapt it a little bit more given the children in your group, and that's fine. That's what we want you to do. And then in the purple box, you'll have your infant experience. Doesn't mean that the other children can't join in with this if they want to. It just means that this is an experience that's designed specifically for infants. So the lesson plans will go through 10 days like this. This unit is all about, like I said, opposites. So you'll find a lot of different opposites within this unit, but again, please incorporate others as they come up during day-to-day experiences. Even like when you're washing hands, you can talk about dirty and clean. When you are eating meals, you can talk about hungry or full. There are so many different opposites that occur during the course of the day, and please incorporate those as well into this unit with the children. I'm going to scroll down here, and this is going to go a little bit fast for a second because I want to just show you what else is in the teaching guide that you will need to know about. So we also have, after the 10 days of experiences, which can definitely be expanded into more than just 10 days, by the way, we will have our school age experiences on a couple pages. These are if you have children that come after school, or maybe even some more advanced preschoolers that you feel like would enjoy these. So there are 6 of them. And then after that, because this is the first unit of the month, our story for this unit is Mr. Opposite. These props you're going to print out and you're going to attach them to craft sticks. Mr. Opposite gets very confused and does things in the opposite way. And here's the story text. So you'll want to prepare that ahead of time. That will be a component you do have to print out. And make-it sheets are totally optional. Okay, these are things that you can use and send home. Really, they're meant to be a tool to help you communicate and engage with families. So we have the opposite book, which is also available in Spanish, and then we have this game that they're going to play, which is also available in Spanish. So those Spanish versions of these make-it sheets would be found under the Spanish tab for the unit. These experiences are for children who are ready to go to kindergarten, if you have any of those, or just more advanced children. And then this chart is super important. This chart is all about the specific learning indicators that connect to each experience. So if you need to show what skills you're addressing as you do each activity, this is where you would go in the back of each teacher's guide to look at this chart. It continues on to the next page where the school age ones are as well. Each unit also has a book list, so you can go to the library or you can gather books that you have that relate to the unit. Songs and poems that we do are in the back usually because there's just not any room in the front. And then sometimes there'll be additional goodies in the back of the teacher's guide, like if there's something that we think you could use as you're doing an experience with the children, we will put it there. So that's the first teaching guide. I'm going to back out of there for the first unit of opposites. Here's the story props for Mr. Opposite, so you would print those out. I want to highlight the materials list for just a second. This is really important. Anything in red, you might need just a little bit of extra time to prepare or gather, but these are just the things that you want to look over ahead of time so you can be prepared for each day. There are 3 pages of this. And then if there's anything that parents or guardians need to know, or maybe they can help us collect, that would be in this box right here. Okay, each unit always has a materials list. The provider's review is for you to complete at the end of the unit. Add and enhance. This is a tool where you're going to gather things to put in your learning centers that enhance the unit. There's one of these for each one. So this is a way for you to help enhance the environment. The Literacy and Letters is a booklet designed to help you work with children who are ready to explore letters and letter sounds. There are experiences in this guide that then tie back to the experiences in the teaching guide and it shows you how you can enhance them or expand them for those children who are ready to talk about letters so that it's meaningful. So it's done within the context of the experience and not isolated. So here's the name of the experience, the page you would find it on, the letters you could incorporate, and how you could do that. Our new customized individualized lesson planning form is designed to help you individualize each unit for the children. So here's the experiences for the day. You would put the children's names across the top, and then in boxes you could write how you're going to individualize the activities that are planned for that day for the child. So for instance, if you have a child that has limited language skills, how you're going to do that. If you have a child that has limited fine motor control, how you're going to adapt the experience for children that have that issue. This is available as a PDF and also as a Word document, so if you want to type in it, you can use the Word version. The All About My Week is a tool that goes home at the end. You would cut it apart, fill this out for 1 week, this out for the other. We encourage you to also make a copy. This is available in Spanish as well. The family letter is just what it says. It's a review of the unit, what we're going to talk about. There's some activities on there for parents. The individualization web, there's a lot of information on how to use this in the user's guide, but it's basically a tool to help you individualize each unit based on a child's interests and or special needs. Digital family notes are like a JPEG, like a photo that you can actually text or email to parents. And then here are the make it sheets for this particular unit. So that's the unit of opposites. Now our second unit, oh, here are the Spanish files if you would need those for the ones that the components that are available in Spanish. So I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to go back into this month's units because I clicked a little too fast. I'm going to scroll down, and our second unit is called Up in the Sky. And Up in the Sky is about all kinds of things that go up in the sky, from airplanes and helicopters to different types of birds to rockets to things that children can make go up in the air like balls. So the English files again would be here. And if you scroll down, you're going to see exactly what we just saw. The difference is that in this unit, we have a teaching tool instead of a story prop. We also have in this unit, instead of that, a printable puppet. For this one, I believe it's a pilot. So I'm not going to take time to go into the lesson plans for these or all of these materials because they're basically the same layout as what we looked at in the opposite one. But just know that there are a few things that are different, like the teaching tool and the puppet in place of the story props. All the other things should be similar, including the digital family notes and the make it sheets, etc. This unit is also one you're going to want to customize. So we're going to talk about birds. You may live in a place where there are different types of birds. Like for instance, if you live in Florida, pelicans are something that may live in your area you want to incorporate in this unit. If you live in Minnesota, there's probably not pelicans up there, but there would be different birds that would be there. Same thing if you lived out in California, there might be different birds you want to incorporate. So what we want you to do at GWiz is take any unit that we do, not just this one, but make it your own and also make it fit the needs of the children in your group based on where you're living, based on their interests, adapt, modify. Look at this as like a foundation upon which you're going to build. So again, we hope that you found this helpful. You can always go back to our homepage by clicking the home button. And don't forget to look under the FCC Tools tab. There's lots of freebies under there. If you have any questions, the best way to reach us is under support. Contact us. There's a form to fill out. That will be the best way for you to get a hold of us. We hope you found this helpful. We'll be posting this under the actual unit so you can watch it. And thanks so much for listening. Goodbye.